My name is Monica Lackenpool. I'm a Professor of Integrated Community Child Health at UCL Great Ormond Street Institute of Child Health. The reason we were interested in this project was because children at the current time are really struggling with their mental health and emotional well-being. And we want to find new ways to enable children to express themselves and to allow children to really have different ways of relaxing, different ways of becoming more resilient, and different ways of building their self-esteem. And we wanted to do something that was a little bit out of the box, and that's what this project has enabled us to do. Music Futures enabled us to really work with PLAYVirtuoso, who are an industry leader in creative music. And we are academics, and we're also practitioners because I myself am a doctor. Now that's an unusual combination. It's an exciting project for us to be doing because this isn't the norm for us to actually work with industry partners such as PLAYVirtuoso, and it's the first time that we probably have done that as well. And so a learning experience for us, how to work with industry partners, but also a very exciting experience because it's allowed us to be more innovative in the way we may do some of our research and create new ways of engaging with young people through the creative arts.
In this short film, we pose a fundamental question. What happens when we redefine the way music is taught, incorporating modern technology, a diverse range of music genres, and dedicated artists and industry educators? How does this align with the aspirations, values, and challenges of today's learners? Our study is divided into 3 key areas of investigation: evaluating the impact of inspirational industry mentors in school settings, examining the influence of extracurricular creative courses on academic experiences, and rethinking the role of exams within the realm of music education. What state is contemporary music education in right now? We went direct into the classroom and spoke to the head of music at Emerson Park Academy, David Milner-Pierce, to get his insights.
What is one of the biggest challenges you find when trying to teach modern music?
It's the funding, it's the expertise and know-how, because you know, the infrastructure for music, it costs a lot, and you know, some schools don't see the merit in that, or they just want, you know, their symphony orchestra or what have you. But music should be accessible to everybody. So I worked at my last school, and I worked out the way that I could get a GCSE group was to do music technology. So I managed to go and get myself Logic certified trained, and you know, somebody who had never sort of thought about music in that way could see what a difference it was when the kids are recording their own beats, or you know, learning the skills to be able to Foley and you know, go in and write music for cinema and film and that sort of thing.
It's clear that David and many other teachers across the country are experiencing these problems. But how can it be changed? We spoke to some of the students at Westminster Under School to see what their opinions of the current music lessons are.
Because I suppose normally in our normal music lessons it's a bit like, so first of all we have to learn the hymn for church, and then right now we're doing music competition, so you just hear other people play your music, but we don't normally really do music tech, which I think is quite cool.
Right. Okay.
And I think it would be cool to maybe have some lessons music tech.
I do want to, I'm a very sporty person, and I kind of want to be like a sporty person when I grow up, but also music is like great to like listen, and it's relaxing, and you can listen to like stuff like anything you want.
The reason we really wanted to do this piece of work and this study is because we want to learn more about the ways young people want to engage with music. Traditionally, we know that young people have really been moved into a traditional model of playing music, which means you have your grades, you have a very structured approach, and you have musical instruments that are quite traditional, such as the piano, the guitar, the flute. We wanted to find out if there was really a different way of engaging with young people, particularly those who may not otherwise have access to music, and getting them interested in music. So it was Why would children get engaged in music? How can we get them engaged in music? And what the different ways of doing that are. So one of the reasons that we wanted to do this piece of work was really to work with young people and hear from them why they feel music is important to them, why they feel that maybe a non-traditional approach would work for them, and how they felt we could deliver that non-traditional approach to them. So we want to learn from the young people what they feel the benefits are of music itself as a creative art, but also how they want to receive that music education and how that works best for them.
We can see that students aren't engaging with current music classes in schools, but we've known this for years. In 2023, figures from Pearson Education show that from 5 million students in the UK, only 35,000 students are taking music for GCSE. That has dropped a further 11.8%, and that means that only 0.5% of students doing GCSE are taking music. We decided to take one of our best artist educators, Hodge, into schools to show students that music doesn't always have to be Debussy or Chopin, and more Dave and Central C.
When I was in school, I didn't see much to do with dance music, electronic music, and seeing stuff like this from a young age I think is quite fun and exciting. And especially as when you listen to the radio or anything, a lot of the time you'll be hearing a lot of dance music, and then a lot of people don't see how it's made. And it's actually really easy to make, really simple. It's just most people don't understand that there's like a lack of access to it. And once you see how quickly we put stuff together today, you'll see that, you know, even if this isn't a job you want to do, doing it at home for fun it's a really nice way to kind of de-stress and enjoy yourself. First thing we do is we're going to record some sounds. We've got a bunch of noises we're going to make here and a microphone, and we'll see what we can get out of them. And I can show you some of the processing techniques I use. So what I do, I'm going to get someone to hit stuff for me. Here is your instrument, good sir. Right. So he's got it's not the most traditional of instruments. We've got a cup and a spoon, and we're going to see what sounds you can make with it. So I'm going to hit record, and you do whatever you feel. Right, go for it. Perfect. Sounded pretty good, didn't it? And this is what I mean about you don't have to have loads of instruments at home to start making music. Once you have a little computer setup like this, you can go and get a cup from the kitchen and make some quite cool percussion sounds. A reverb will recreate the sound of the room. So say like there's a sound being played in a big hall or a big church or a cathedral. If you imagine when you clap or make a noise, it will go and reverb out. That's the word we use for it. So just this, we're going to start recreating a very big room. And so that's the cup, which now sounds like a much bigger instrument. So it's really, if you get hold of this program, there's so many guides on how to use it. If you can teach yourself to play computer games, you can teach yourself to play this.
It was clear that the response from students was remarkably positive. Hodge's innovative approach and unique style clearly resonated more with young people than traditional music assemblies would. Let's hear what some of the students had to say after they watched the assembly.
How do you feel about today's workshop?
Well, I thought it was really interesting because usually we don't sort of learn about these sorts of elements of music. We learn more classical, romantic, baroque. And also, you showed us how easy it is, and you don't need to like know everything about music. It's just you need to know how to express yourself.
So when you saw Hodge, you felt like he didn't know everything, but he knew how to express himself.
Yeah, he sort of showed that technology can also assist us a lot and produce something we're proud of.
And why is that? Is it different than your usual music lesson?
In our usual music lessons, we do more stuff sort of piano-based, singing-based, and it's more, again, romantic, classical, baroque periods, and which is fine, and I think it's...
Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it, yeah. I play the piano,
right.
So it's sort of relevant to me.
Yeah.
But I also think it's good to see the other side of music and more contemporary.
And are you doing ABRSM grades?
8.
Do grade 8?
Yeah.
And how do you find the pressure of that? Do you still enjoy it doing the grades, or do you enjoy the performing more? What's it like for you?
I'm not really too focused on the actual grades and the exams.
Okay.
My teacher of piano, he's more of a performer, so I focus more on actually enjoying what I'm playing and putting my emotions into it.
Amazing.
And more performing, yeah.
And is music a potential career for you, something you think about?
I've thought about it, yeah, but I have to wait and see how it plays out.
What is it that you feel that you would need to be able to kind of access or reach or the people that you would want to connect to in order to know if that's a viable career for you?
Probably more things like today, more understanding, practical, how music gets created, how it gets out in the industry, and if you sort of understand more, you know what to choose.
Right, so more like industry knowledge.
Yeah.
Would you like this to be one of your classes in school?
I would actually.
Yeah.
I was actually really interested today in the software.
Okay.
And I have Logic Pro on my computer at home.
Okay, cool.
And I use it a few times, creating some of my own music. So it would be good to also do it in school and help it reflect.
Extracurricular or as part of music lessons, do you think?
I think part of the music lessons you could do sort of half of it romantic, classical, baroque, and half of it this sort of new
And then
music.
you can bring the two together, right? That's pretty cool. And finally, favourite music artist right now?
Favourite music artist? Probably Dave.
Yeah.
I like Dave, I like rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Music lessons are about using the actual instrument. In this, we could make music out of things that weren't the actual instrument. You didn't actually have to be good at playing an instrument to make really good music.
So do you feel like you could make good music?
Yeah.
That's cool. And do you want to continue learning music production after today's session?
Yes, I would.
Oh, great. And would you like this to be one of your school classes?
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe instead of the whole music right now, this would be better.
Well, what we've been really interested at UCL is to make music more accessible. We want to make it more inclusive, and we want to find different ways to do this. We know that traditional music is obviously very important, but some people may not be able to engage with, say, the flute or the violin or traditional exams, for example. And we're trying to find different ways of making music important to young people and making it reachable, really, to the young of today. As a professor at UCL, one of our passions is to really make a difference to children and their future lives. And we want to find new ways to do that, and that's what we do through our research. So through a partnership with experts in music and with us as academics, and also practitioners who see children with mental health problems or wanting to really improve their emotional well-being, what brought us to this project was really that we thought that we want to find a way to make music much more accessible to really underserved children or those who may not otherwise really think that they can access music. Sometimes it's quite difficult to think that, yes, I can play a violin, or yes, I can play the flute, or can I get to grade 7 or 8? And that seems so unreachable to some people. What we're trying to experiment with is whether there are different ways to bring music to the young people and how we can find ways to better engage them in that wonderful experience.
But what about those students who are further on in their journey? What can be done for them? We took Hodge into a Year 9 classroom at Emerson Park Academy, which had a total mix of students and abilities.
And I'm just going to leave this running here, and we're going to basically chop up the audio. I'm using Ableton. It's exactly the same as using Logic or Cubase or whatever program you're going to use. The techniques I use in this is going to be really easy to use on other programs, and you've got people which are fully trained to be able to show you. So firstly, we're just going to get you to hit that, and you can play any rhythms you want on it. Just hit it. Yeah. We're getting outside the box now.
I didn't think it through, so I'm not trying to...
Any noises? We're going for any noises.
Again, it was clear that students were engaged by the session, but what kind of learning is suitable for these students who, as David said, are afraid of putting their hand up in the classroom? This is where we look at online learning as a potential solution. Studies have shown that students who engage in extracurricular creativity have a higher percentage of success in other areas of study. Not only this, but it's clear to help boost mental health and combat stress levels. Can online learning in schools paired with independent learning be the answer? We asked a pool of university students at UCL who had never been interested in studying music what they thought about the PLAYVirtuoso platform.
So this study was really about working with two groups of young people, those who were at school and those who were at university. And I myself at UCL, so we wanted to work with the students at UCL. We wanted to work with the young children at a school who were underprivileged or underserved and find out what they wanted from a curriculum or a way of engaging with them with music. So how would they engage and how did they want to be tested with music? And would they want a grading system or what that grading system would be to actually improve their engagement with music? With the students at UCL, what we were really trying to find out is having a way of engaging with a music education. Is it something they felt that was useful to them? Is it something that in their daily life, when they're not studying all the time, they would want to enter into and they would actually gain something from it? So how could we actually engage with these two different age groups? Why would we engage with them on a non-traditional music approach? And what were the benefits to them? But this is the very early stages. This is the beginning of a journey, really. The first part of this work was finding out how this sort of non-traditional music is received by the young people and whether they feel that it's something that we should be taking further steps with them.
It's evident that students enjoy learning about the music they like listening to. Why shouldn't they learn about what they love? Everything points to enriching the curriculum with a more diverse range of genres, including those students are passionate about. By dissecting and emulating the music they love, students can gain a deeper appreciation and understanding of the creative process and foster a deeper appreciation for the art of creativity. For a more in-depth understanding of our findings, we invite you to explore the Shaping Futures report, a collaborative project between PLAYVirtuoso and UCL. Join us on a mission to reimagine music education.